Aloha. I'm Stephen Mana Trink, and I'm here to share with you some of the insights that I had from the experiences the last few days. And I thought it would be I just thought it would be something that would be of interest to those who are seeking a more fulfilling and loving life. So let me just start off by saying that, I had written a book, Navigating the Winds of Change, which is, by the way, available on Amazon or Balboa Press. It's a spiritual guide to embracing a loving life. And writing it was a labor of love. It came through me, not from me. And it was my baby. And it was my passion. It was my beautiful flower of life. And so I want the best for it, of course. I want to nourish it, give it all the attention it needs so it can flourish. And I was very pleased with the way the book unfolded. Of course, it was coming from another place. It wasn't coming from my mind, and that allowed me to have the trust in the process of writing this book. Otherwise, if I was to leave it up to this, I don't know if I'd ever complete it. But I surrendered my mind. I surrendered anything that I thought was a product of my mind. And I just allow inspiration to come through, creativity to come through. And of course, I utilize my own abilities, whatever God had given me, to understand how to play the instrument. And so I allow the music to come through me. By the way, I do the same thing in my art, which is right behind me, if you can see it at all. I allow the art to flow through me onto the canvas or onto the craft paper, which I use. I don't use any brushes, basically. I just use my hands, and my fingers. And I work with the paints, but I'm guided all the way. Well, anyway, so these are my passions, and this is what I wake up to, and this is what I look forward to continually. And it really fulfills me. And all of a sudden, everything stopped. I wasn't getting any inspiration. I wasn't even motivated in any way to do any art or to write or to contact the many people that I needed to contact to make this all work in synchronicity. And this went on for a week. And then it went on for another week. And it's 2 weeks now, and I'm starting to, I guess, listen to my mind a little too much at this time. And it gets you a little tense or nervous, or gives you a little frustration, And it also, for me, it activates that switch that says, okay, Mana, what's going on now? Where is this all coming from? Is this a true story? Is it real? Or is it something that is just your perception of what is real? And so this uselessness in my mind, this is what I call it, is uselessness. That's when the mind thinks of everything that's really unproductive for your higher being, for your higher self. But the uselessness led into something that I call ponder. Ponder. Wonder. What is this all about? Why am I given this experience? What's the message here? Where's the golden nugget? And this allows me to look deeper into the experience more objectively, other than subjectively. So this is the way I work, to fine-tune my frequency, my vibrational frequency. And I developed it over time, and at the beginning it takes more awareness, of course, and more practice, like anything else in life, in sports or whatever. You have to practice, and then you get better and easier, and before you know it, you're a professional, and it happens by itself. And this is the way it is with me right now. I'm on a roll. Everything's happening for me from my perspective, not to me. So I wanted to share this with you. And then when I realized what I was doing these last 2 weeks and how there was a fear attached to that anxiety, there's a fear attached to that frustration, there's a fear attached to every emotion that the mind weaves, creates, that you believe is true. And how and why do I say that? Because fear is the root of all emotion, and the ego uses the fear, whatever that story may be for you in your life, whatever happened, whatever you're afraid of, whatever you don't want to get involved in, whatever it is that you're trying to avoid, the ego knows, because it's put it there, and it's now using it against you. Doesn't want you to embrace your passion. No, it doesn't want you to celebrate life. We think the ego is our friend. And in truth, it's on God's payroll, so to speak, but it's there to create the perspective, the duality. So we have a choice. So we can become more consciously aware that we have a choice. And of course, choose what is the most loving in the situation for us and all humanity. And when I surrendered this mishigas in my mind, and I said, okay, of course, I'm conscious of that, and I'm going to ride the divine. I'm going to allow the universe to unfold, and I'm going to trust the process. And I did that. And no sooner did I do that, 1 day later, I get a phone call from a retired professor at the University of Michigan who taught social sciences for 31 years all over the world. And he published some things in his course of his, beautiful work. And now he just wants to bring it out to humanity. And he wanted to know if I am open to being part of that. Can he kind of, hitch his wagon to my wagon train? And I said, of course, And all of a sudden, things shifted. Then the next day, I get another call from a PhD, a doctor who graduated Harvard, who is the head of an institution here in Hawaii that helps and services and gives opportunities to senior citizens or elders or however you want to call them. I don't know what the right term is politically any longer, but I like just to call them elders. I'm an elder. I found that out the other day, and up till now I didn't realize that I was an elder, but that's another story. So anyway, when I surrendered this thought pattern that I had for the last 2 weeks, that fear was attached, and I surrendered it. I didn't find out what the fear was because it's not important. The fear is made up anyway. So what good is it to even delve into why you have the fear? Just fear, you know, the acronym, false evidence appearing real. And so when I said, okay, that was all false data, I surrendered it to the universe and allowed it to unfold at the rate that the universe is going to unfold, and it's going to unfold in a synchronicity. It's going to fold in a place where, in a time that everything is lined up, just like the planets. They have to be lined up for it to materialize, or else it's not going to materialize. So when something materializes, just think of what went into making that manifest at that very moment. What went on behind the scenes, behind the curtain? What had to take place at every aspect, in every instant, at this time that everything would work together? And so in awareness to that, I got that phone call from this woman who is running this institution that helps seniors, providing classrooms and classes and Zooming classrooms all over the world on topics or categories that they would be interested in, be it religion, spirituality, art, tapestry, painting. Doesn't make a difference. We want to engage in creative work. Okay, creative work, meaning work that allows you to feel your passion. And so things shifted just like that. And the lesson that I learned, the lesson that I walked away with was, again, a reminder. Everything that is going to happen will happen when it's supposed to, not before and not after. And our work is to embrace and trust the synchronicity of that unfolding story. So again, until I speak to you, until we meet again, it's certainly been a pleasure, and I really enjoy these brief moments. You can always go to my website, which is Steven, that's Steven, Mana, M-A-N-A, Trink, Trink.com. You can always contact me through my website. I have my email address there, and I'd love to hear from you. And I'll hold you in my heart and wish you aloha.